Avengers 5 has been going through a lot of changes. From directors leaving and writers being replaced, Marvel is in crisis mode trying to rewrite this film. Obviously, the original plan was to pay off the Kang story with the aptly titled Kang Dynasty, but one guilty court case later, it looks like they want to pivot away from their original vision. Now, I'm not here to talk about the actor who used to play the Conqueror, although I am glad they recast after the verdict. What I am here to talk about today, though, is how I think they should go forward with the project, because this has given them the opportunity to do something that they should have done in the first place. I'm talking directly to you, Mr. Feige. I know you're watching this, so please take notes. Also, yes, I know you saw the thumbnail and you know what this video is about, but just bear with me as I break down what not to do with this movie first. If you just want to hear about the Hulk stuff, feel free to go to this timestamp. Okay, now that those cowards are gone, let's talk Kang. Despite the controversy surrounding the actor, it would be a huge mistake to abandon the character altogether. They spent 2 seasons of a TV show and an entire movie building this villain up. While the Loki finale may have given them an out with the TVA temporarily putting a pause on the Kang problem, it's clear that they planned on having him come back in a big way in the future, and that's the smart move. With so much ground laid, it would be a waste of time to disregard everything they've done. I don't know about you, but I'm personally really invested in what they've done with Kang up to this point, and I'm excited to see him live up to his full potential. The scary thing about Kang is that he always comes back. No matter how many times the Avengers kill him, there are an infinite number of other variants out there waiting for their time to strike. While one version may have lost to Ant-Man, another more dangerous version of the character could be on their way. I'm really looking forward to see how they deal with a threat like that because the possibilities are truly endless. We absolutely need to see Kang return as the main villain for an Avengers movie, but not this one. If you're a little lost, just follow me here. I still think Kang should be waiting for the Avengers at the end of the multiverse saga, but this 5th installment in the franchise is the wrong time to do it. In real life, by the time the movie would release, it'll have been 7 years since Endgame, and who knows how long in universe since the Avengers were an established team in the MCU. In the time following Endgame, it doesn't seem like the Avengers are really a thing at this point. Most of the original 6 are dead, retired, or on the moon, while the others are off doing their own solo missions. The compound was blown to smithereens with no rush to rebuild and start over. The Avengers, as we knew it, were dead. While I do think it could make for an interesting story to see Earth's mightiest heroes caught off guard by Kang and thus lose since they don't have an established team ready to fight him off, I don't really think that's the most interesting thing Marvel could do at this point. The main reason that the Avengers movies work so well is because of the team dynamic. It's about seeing these larger-than-life characters come together and bond. Their interactions in a shared universe feel so special and help the audience fall in love with these characters more. With the film going through creative changes, I think now is the time to shift focus to something completely different. What the MCU has been missing in these past 2 post-Endgame phases are Avengers movies. During the Infinity Saga, there were 4 different Avengers films in just 3 phases. So far we haven't had any, and there isn't one planned until Phase 6 starts. Apparently they only wanted to do these when it was a big event so a movie would feel more important, but I think doing these once per phase is even more important than that because it'll help us see these characters again and establish that team dynamic. That way, when a new big bad does come around, there will be a team that audiences actually care about because we've seen them go through hell together and grow. They won't have to worry about trying to balance introducing a new multiversal threat while also bringing together tons of new characters all in one go. It's a good idea to have an Avengers film primarily focused on rebuilding the team before they face their toughest challenge yet. That doesn't mean to abandon the Kang story, not in the slightest, but to just postpone that event for a little while longer. We can hold off on Kang to make things feel more impactful when he appears again, all while Marvel teases him rebuilding in the background like they did with Thanos throughout the Infinity Saga. So, you're probably wondering what they should do in the meantime, and that's a fair question that you totally don't know the answer to already. Just pretend, okay, go along with it. There were those rumors a while ago that they had been considering Doctor Doom, but I am strongly against that. It's way too early to bring Doom in as a big bad. You want to establish him in a sequel to the Fantastic Four before making him the multiverse's problem. I'm very well aware that he was a villain of the 2015 Secret Wars event, so it would make sense to have him play a role in the MCU's version as well, but the reason that event worked so well is because it was the culmination of over 50 years of history up to that point. I don't want them to rush Doom into the MCU just to make that event more comic accurate. I want them to take their time and do the character justice, so let's take Doom out of the picture completely. Obviously, given the thumbnail, you know my actual take on what they should do is none other than World War Hulk. Is it too late in this video to drop the title card? I don't know if it's too late, but I'm doubling down. Looking back at phases 4 and 5, the Hulk's fingerprints have been all over this saga, whether it be a cameo in Shang-Chi giving him a connection to the wider MCU along with bringing Abomination back into the universe, his appearance in She-Hulk as they finally got to develop some more Hulk stories, or Thunderbolt Ross's upcoming appearances as the Red Hulk and Brave New World, these characters have had a consistent through line throughout the saga thus far. Marvel has been planting little seeds with these characters that are clearly setting something up, so why not let them blossom into an Avengers movie? Despite Marvel getting the rights to 2008's Incredible Hulk back last year, they still don't have the full rights to the character. Universal still has control over any solo Hulk film and the right to first refusal to make them in the first place. And clearly over the last 15 years, those bozos have no interest in making money because they haven't been playing ball with Marvel Studios. That's why they had to tell his most recent arc through other projects, but an Avengers movie should be fair game. There's no reason why they can't just dedicate an entire team-up story to the Hulk and pay off everything they set up in a way that finally does big green right. The pieces are already in place in this universe to tell this story quite easily. She-Hulk did a great job of getting everything set up so that we can jump right into World War Hulk whenever they want to. Although now that I think about it, the comic storyline is very different from how it would have to go in the MCU. If we want to do this faithfully, then we're about 7 years too late since it would have had to happen after Ragnarok's loose adaptation of Planet Hulk. And since the last time I tried to use my time machine I accidentally witnessed the heat death of the universe, I don't think there's any way we can change the past. But don't worry, there's still a way to do this that works with how the MCU has these characters set up at this point. Instead of Hulk being the main driving force of the narrative as he was in the comics by getting revenge for being sent off Earth by the Illuminati, I say it should be Scar and that yee ass haircut of his. He could be mad that his father abandoned him for 6 years and in the time he was gone his mother had died. There's nobody to save her and he blames Hulk for that, so he plans on taking his revenge through an invasion. Also, he has to get revenge for being allowed to go outside with that goofy-ass hairstyle, because seriously, what is that? Hulk has jumped high up the rankings of terrible superhero fathers for letting his son look like that. But to get back on topic, that end scene in She-Hulk may have had Scar seem like the awkward kid at the party who doesn't really want to be there, but we can just say he was playing Hulk the whole time to get close and attack. Whatever happens, Scar should be the antagonist of this film. Build him up as a genuine threat with an army of other gladiators on the way who'd be a real problem for the Avengers and more importantly, to the Hulk. He should be an audience surrogate in a way as he tries to bring the Hulk that he remembers back and destroy all the hard work Banner has built up. Scar should try and tear down this Professor Hulk identity because he wants to see the real Savage Hulk. He wants to see that killer Hulk he remembers. It can kind of address head-on the complaint people have had about the Hulk recently and that he's not the classic angry Hulk people remember. I think it'd be a smart way to tackle that idea head-on while also bringing him back in a way that can appease audience members. I also think it would be smart for this to cause a rift between Hulk and Banner as well. Perhaps Hulk feels for his son and now dead wife and is frustrated with Banner for forcing him away from that life. It's made clear in Ragnarok that Banner had no clue he was Hulk for those 2 years on Sakaar, so in his defense, maybe he didn't know about any of that. It could drive a wedge between the two of them and revert Hulk back to a state where he and Banner are fighting for control with that trust broken. A common and very valid critique against the MCU's Hulk is that all of his character development happened off screen. I do really like how they let him grow and change and experience happiness for once, but it doesn't hit as well as it should because we weren't able to see most of his struggle due to rights issues. With a movie like this, we'd finally have an opportunity to dive into this character and I think it's long overdue. It also means we could see the return of the Savage Hulk we all know and love, or even better in my opinion, introduce Devil Hulk. The most terrifying alter of his and someone that's the manifestation of all Banner's rage with how the world treats him. It could be really interesting to see Hulk snap and become this vengeful rage monster himself, lashing out on the world without any remorse. At the midway point of the movie, Banner could lose control and this new Devil Hulk would take over, siding with his son Scar. They'd be a genuine threat and provide something new that we haven't seen before for the Hulk character and the Avengers. Just think of all the creative action scenes we get to see the team try and work together to defeat the Hulk of all characters. That would go crazy and is worth the price of admission alone. It'd also be a chance to remind audiences just how cool the Hulk is when he finally gets his time to shine in the spotlight again. Don't ask me how we get there because I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm not a writer, these are just loose ideas, but I want things to resolve with Banner as the immortal Hulk. My personal favorite version of the character and one of the gnarliest, most gruesome comic stories I've ever seen. I'd hope Marvel and Universal could work something out to adapt that story one day because seeing Banner try and coexist with this new Devil Hulk in a world where he can't die no matter what people throw at him would be an incredible story, and no, I'm not sorry for that pun. Avengers 5 is an opportunity to look at the state of the MCU and appeal to what audiences have been missing out on. I may be prepared to go to war defending Phase 4, but the absence of an Avengers film is heavily felt. We need to be able to see these characters bond and grow together before things get serious with Kang. If it's possible to hold off on him, I think it'd be really beneficial for them to squeeze in another movie before they rush into Kang Dynasty or the rumored 2-part Secret Wars, which personally is what I would prefer. Just have Kang be the villain of Secret Wars and have his variants take the place of Doctor Doom and the Beyonder. I honestly don't see another time for them to fit in a World War Hulk movie, especially with how stingy Universal get, so turning it into an event film should be the move. Not only will we finally get to see the Hulk get some long overdue focus again, but we'll get more time with these characters and that's the most important thing to me. As the MCU has expanded, we've had to wait longer and longer between appearances of some of these heroes. There's no valid reason that someone as pivotal as Captain America hasn't been seen in over 3 years at this point. Now that he's about to get hands-on experience fighting a Hulk president, it would make sense to fold him and other heroes into this story. A rumored plot point of Brave New World seems to be how Sam believes there's a need for the Avengers to form again. Carrying that story directly into a World War Hulk film just makes sense to me. Sam would be able to bring these characters together to fight a threat that he knows none of them can handle alone. It's an in-universe justification that could finally let us see the Avengers working together again. Part of the reason why Infinity War and Endgame worked so well is that we had the first Avengers along with Age of Ultron before them. We were able to see the team grow into a real family that cared about each other. The dynamics between these characters had been established, and the movie could focus on enriching how they play off of each other. Now imagine if we just went from not having any Avengers to quickly putting them together for Kang Dynasty. I don't think it would work nearly as well since there's no rapport between them. So Mr. Feige, Kevin if I may call you now that I feel like we're close enough, do the right thing. Bring all these elements together and give us a memorable film that will benefit the universe as a whole. We'll get important payoffs and developments for Hulk characters along with the Avengers back in full force, and you still get to have Kang in the future to look forward to. It's a win-win scenario and something I think the MCU needs to do. It's okay to smash plans and change things for the better, especially when it results in something as cool as World War Hulk. Thank you all for watching, especially you, Kev. I hope you enjoyed the video and my thoughts on what to do for Avengers 5. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any different ideas on how to handle the movie. I'm interested to see what everyone has to say. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. I had to do it, okay? Honestly, I wrote the entire video around making that joke here at the end. But seriously, please subscribe or they're going to delay Avengers 5 again.